How y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And what do we got for you today? Well, a little discussion video. I was telling people I was going to get this one out there yesterday, but I wasn't able to, and so we're doing it today, people. Today is Sunday, November 3rd. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about my favorite folders on the planet. Many of you know that my favorite folders on the planet are the Demko 8020 series. And what I mean by the 8020, I mean the 8020 series, I mean the 8020, 8020S model, 8020SI, the international model. I like those too. I don't have one, but I like them. And the 8020 series, the 8020, the standard 8020s, the 8020 slicers, and the big pivots, small pivots, and the new ones, the shark cubs. Okay, these function perfectly. I haven't had any issues whatsoever, ever, as long as I've been using the 8020 series knives. And this is going on like about 3 or 4 years now that they've been my favorites amongst all other folders. The reason being is that they can handle a lot of fidgeting without the blade, losing, becoming up, gaining up and down play, side to side play, having to constantly be readjusted, what have you. The lock type on them is very durable. It's very strong. It's very durable, and the way that it's made, it just doesn't slide back. You have to pull it. You have to pull up the lock and pull it back to release the blade. So I think it's a super safe lock type. And I think it's the best lock type amongst all the fidgeting type locks. What I call fidgeting type locks, locks that you can operate like this very easily. That's a fidgeting type lock. To me, a liner lock, a frame lock, a back lock, a triad lock, those aren't really fidgeting locks to me. Sure, you can fidget with them, no doubt. But to me, those are more like the standard old school style locks that you couldn't open and close super fast without putting your fingers in the path of the blade. Now, you can modify them, adjust them, and do different things to them where, not really the frame locks or the liner locks, but you could with the back locks or the triad locks. You couldn't modify them. And also then like pick locks also is another lock that would fall in that category. Pick locks and lever locks and things like that. But anyway, let's get into these, people. Let's get into these. When I talk about lever locks, I say lever locks. No, lever locks are more like a lock that's more like a fidgeting lock. But let's get into these. What the thing I want to talk about with these is not so much these. These I have no problems with, never had any problems with, and don't project ever having any problems with. I absolutely love all these knives. All these knives that I've been carrying them all this year, and this is the newest one to the bunch, this group. But it's not a new knife though. It's a knife that I took and I just swapped the handles around. A knife that I already previously had. This one used to have the JG10 handle scales on it from Demko Knives, and now it has the OG1 aluminum scales from Original Goat. And these were previously on my other knife with the shark's foot blade, with the D2 shark's foot blade. I just swapped the parts around, people. You always keep the lock bar and the blade together. You never interchange those, but you can interchange just about everything else. But anyway, my problem is with the new one, people. Here it is. I'm gonna let you just look. This is one of my brand new Ultem 20 CV. These are 20 CV blades. Big pivot, 80-20.5s. I absolutely love this knife. But I could see why it was going for such a cut rate price at BladeHQ.com. And they still do have these, people. $114 for this knife that normally costs around $200, a little bit more, little bit, maybe 190 to like 220 or somewhere around there. You can find them on the standard market at online dealers. But they won't have the Ultem scales, though. They will have the G10 or aluminum scales. This one is the model. I think this was a BladeHQ exclusive, and they had Ultem scales. The Ultem scales, after this experience, I don't like Ultem. I don't want any Ultem scales. This cracked all over the place, people. And all I did was I was carving a Chinese chopstick to make a tool so I could take apart a knife, push out one of the pins or whatever. And I was just using it like this, just standard, usage of, carving with the knife. And I guess that little bit of pressure, or maybe I twisted it or something, but it cracked this handle all to hell. And that was just one use. This was a brand new knife. This wasn't even the one I was carrying. The one I was carrying was this one. And this one still is perfectly fine. But I didn't do any carving chores with it. I did do paper cutting chores and open up light packages and things like that at work and stuff like that. And it didn't have any problems, but it didn't do anything where, I guess it put a little bit of torque on the blade edge, like when you cut into wood and then you torque it a little bit. I think that's what cracked up the handle. And so, but anyway, my point is that I do not trust Ultem handle scales, but I still think that these are a great buy because they still have these at BladeHQ where you can get this model with Ultem scales. That's what this one originally was. I bought this one originally at BladeHQ for $119. It has the Ultem scales also, but then I bought the original goat kit for it. And I swapped out the Ultem scales for the original goat kit. The reason why I did it is not because I didn't like Ultem or anything. It's because I like thicker handle scales. I like the thicker handle scales. So I like the original goat thick handle scales. And Flag Titanium makes them also. And so does Rip's Garage Tech. They make thicker handle scales. And that's why I prefer over the thinner handle scales, which are like this. So that's the reason why I swapped them out. I still have my Ultem scales and they're in perfectly good condition for these two knives that you see right here. But I'm not going to use them no more. I'm thinking about going to Rip's Garage Tech and getting a Micarta set. I think I'm going to wait and see if anybody makes a titanium set because I would like to have titanium, aluminum, Micarta, and G10 for my favorite 80-20. These are my favorite 80-20.5s that I like, people. I like the slicer model with this blade type. Because to me, with this blade type, it not only turns it into a great utility knife, but it also turns it into a great little self-defense folder. That's my opinion, people. That's the reason why I like that. And I like this for sort of the same reason. Because Bowie blades are good self-defense blades, too. I like the fact that this one doesn't have the slots in it. So that's the reason why I got these. I have another one coming. I'm going to have 3 of these, and I got 3 different kits from Original Goat. One's going to be a purple kit, and 2 are going to be 2 aluminum kits, but different pattern. All of them are going to have different patterns. And they're all going to be left-hand carry because this is my left-hand carry knife. I love this as a left-hand carry knife. My left hand absolutely loves these knives. Works perfectly for my left hand. So my left hand absolutely love these. But that's the one issue I want to just put out there and let everybody know about. I do not like the Ultem, but I still think that the BladeHQ deals that they got going on still for $114 for this one, and you can get this one like this with these are 20 CV blades, people, 20 CV blades, and you can get this model with the Ultem scales. And this is like the standard color Ultem, like the gold color Ultem. This is like what they call smoke Ultem. It really looks brown. It's more of a brownish color. But you can get these two with Ultem scales. This one for $139, which is very cheap because normally this model of 80-20.5 with the thicker blade goes for like about $265 to $300 with the 20 CV blades. The models with 20 CV blades. I'm talking about the G10 and the aluminum models with 20 CV blades. They go for, normally with this knife, it's the exact same knife, just different handle scales. for $265 to $300, and you can get this for $139. I got this one when it was on sale for $119, and I got the black one for $129. And the black one is the one that they have left. I think it's for $139. That's on the website. Just letting y'all know. I highly recommend these. I think everybody, that's into these kind of knives, that's into the 80/20 series. If you want to get a good deal on one of these, go get one of these, and then go to either Rip's Garage Tech, Flytanium. Flytanium, you can get their scales. All you got to let them know though is that you want their scales to be modified into big pivot scales. That's what this is. This is the model that you can get right now for $139. It's the black DLC model with the 20 CV blade. And what I did is I went to Fly Titanium and I requested these scales turned in. These were previously small pivot scales that they turned into big pivot scales. These scales are made in Utah. They're not made in overseas or anywhere. I try to always buy parts that are made in the United States, people. Original goat parts are all made in the United States. Flytanium parts, not all everything they have is made in the United States, but the things that they are made in the United States, they list it as being made in the United States, and they tell you where it's made. And they make their scales in Utah. So it's all, USA made. Anyway, that's just what I want to put out about these. And these are my favorites. You all know that. These are my favorites. And the reason why I like these so much, people, is because they're totally ambidextrous. These are the easiest knives to use with your opposite hand that's not your strong side hand. That's why I found out. And I love these knives. They're just so well made, and they're not cheap, no doubt. I'm not saying they're very affordable or anything like that, but you get what you pay for when you buy one of these, people. You're actually getting a really good knife. A knife that's going to last forever, a knife that's built right, it's made right, it's designed right, and it's designed by one of the best, I would say the best knife lock maker in the world right now, Andrew Demko. And Andrew Demko knows how to design a good, strong, sturdy knife for people who want a good, strong, sturdy knife that they can depend on, that's not going to fall apart on them. That's what he's good at. And that's what these are. Highly recommend them, people. Highly recommend them. That's about all I got to put out in this one. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I got another one coming up. So stay tuned, people. Peace. Stiletto.